I'm Steve Wilson and I'm with GSK, and I'm a subject matter expert on SNOP, IBP, and I've been implementing such processes now for close on 15 years. Been working with GSK now for 6 months. In my previous lives, I came across a book about 10 years ago, which is called Brain Styles. And I picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down, and then it started to dawn on me that maybe something in here was relevant to some of the journey that we have to take in the implementation of such processes like SNOP and IBP. Because they talk about change as being 5% systems, 15% mechanics and processes, and 80% is the hard bit, is actually winning the hearts and minds of people who have to change to do things different. And it doesn't necessarily matter whether this is just for SNOP or IBP, but in any type of project where there is something has to be changed, it's often people who have to move to somewhere different. So I'm going to try and explain the excitement I got out of this, because when I read this book, it opens with a paragraph that concludes that people can't change. So I want to start with that theory that people can't change. And now I'm going to explain a little bit perhaps why. And it all comes down to this thing called brain style. And the theory goes, and I'm going to tell you now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not an HR professional, I'm a supply chain geek. I've been in supply chain for over 40 years, and my job is to help companies improve their supply chain through helping transformations of people. I've used this in past lives, and now I've found some people in GSK are interested in doing this with me, and we're on a little journey to do some trials. So if you imagine this room as the human brain, it's interesting how most of you sat on the left. Now, is that because over here we have people who like to talk but actually don't know, versus people over here who know but don't want to talk? So we've got the left and the right-hand brain in the room. The left-hand part of the brain is all about logic, it's all about speech, it's about analysing data, analysing information, it's very fact-based. But people who have a dominant right-sided brain tend to have a lot more intuition. They're looking for things, they're searching for answers, they're much more spiritually guided. But the concept of the right and left-hand brain is not enough, because there's also front and rear, and then there's combinations of speed of processing of data. Ultimately, that turns into 4 different types of brain style. Now, there is no such thing as a right answer nor a wrong answer, so please don't hit me now, because I'm going to ask for maybe a little bit of audience participation. I'm going to describe the 4 different characteristics of brain style, and we'll go through them one at a time, and ultimately I would like you to move to the quadrant where deliberators, I'd like you to move to conceptors, conciliators and knowers. And as you find a description that fits, I'd like you to move to that position, because it will be interesting to see if it's only a small sample, but the book itself did this analysis over 5,000 people, and it'll be interesting to see if this room actually conforms. And what we're talking about here is how you process data the first time round you actually hear something. So the very first time, the reaction time at time 0 for a deliberator. Deliberators, they seek to evaluate. They seek to look for the answers. They want data, data, data. That's all they want. They want data. They want to look for patterns in the data.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead.
Okay, fine. They want to organize things. They write endless lists. These great people for running projects, these people often finish up as project managers. After some time, eventually they come up with the answer. They then have some fantastic plans in order to be able to deliver those points, and ultimately they get into becoming an expert in their subject. But how is that perceived? Other people will see these deliberators as being challengers, experts, complex, very analytical. But what these people are looking for, and hopefully you might recognize, if you don't, if I've got this completely wrong, happy that you want to move to another quadrant. Oh, we've got somebody else who's come in, join the deliberators. He had to deliberate for a little while before he thought about it, notice? He wasn't quite there yet. They're looking to be the specialists. They're looking to solve problems. Now the knowers, and now I say knower, not know-all. It's knower. So at time zero, they diagnose the course, their immediate reaction, they're very dominant in conversation. They decide, they conclude, they go for the gun, subject closed, move on. These people establish answers. They're highly communicative. They drive plans. They make things happen because that's what they are. They're fast and furious. But they can be perceived as being conclusive, ultimately very confrontational. Because they've made a decision, they've looked at a pile of data and gone, that's the answer, that's what we're doing. It's A, not B, we're going there. Everybody behind me. They're looking for control, the magic control word. They want to be in control, they want to get results, they wear their heart on their sleeve, they go for it, they make things happen. Nobody's moved down to this box. Interesting. Now the conceptor. They come up with a theory, they select the data that supports that theory, and they discount any other form of data. And these people over the back there, if you wouldn't mind moving there, if you recognise any of this, they look for all the possibilities. They look for potential. They look for maybe ideas. They perhaps go back, but once they've decided, they've contributed as a visionary. These people are very much strategic. To them, the word tactics, well, that's other people do that. I'm just here to give you the vision. I'm an extremely visionary person. I want to make things happen. They're often perceived as people who are just generalists. They make general assumptions. They don't have too many facts around them. They explore, they're very creative. They're distant. They can be very deductive. But what they're looking for is they want to seek to influence. Now, I'm assuming we're going to have enough seats now in that far corner at the back there for everybody else. Oh, we got the conciliators. These are the life and soul of the party. I'm one of them. They make spontaneous decisions, and then they later maybe have to change their mind because then they get a bit more of the fact, and then they realise that those decisions have upset a few people, so they may have to moderate it. They do logical reviews. They seek to get to be effective. They want to talk about experiences. These are the people you want to organise your birthday party. These people consider everybody's well-being. They look for everybody else and they make sure they try to get a major consensus. Often they're imaginative, they're quite tactical, they're very tactile, they like to be part of the family, they want to be part of the group. Someone needs to tell these guys where they're sitting now, don't they? And what these people are looking for, they're looking for relationship building. These people are change agents. These are the people that go into companies and help them turn around. These are the turnaround people. They're looking to get consensus. They want, the bulk of these people are often on big project teams. They take on an awful lot of work. They support and help the deliberators. They make sure the deliberators are all heard. They take the information from the knowers and they translate that into words that other people understand. And they question and provoke and antagonize a bit the conceptors, the visionaries. So unless everybody is not going to move because they haven't recognized themselves yet, how many people logically then finish up with me in the back there as conciliators? Now there's no right or wrong answer, okay? Sorry for you guys who've just turned in, but whoa, we have a Noah. Yeah, great, we have a Noah.